had a full presentation started and was prepping to come here. And then 2 weeks ago, right before our partner conference in Amsterdam, we had 2 partners that sat down with our executive team and just shared what they're doing with AI, how they are bringing agents into their service offering, the marketplace, and delivering this new technology to their customers. And I completely scrapped the presentation. And I thought, well, I could get up here and talk to you for 30 minutes at least, if not longer, sharing what we do, but listening to other MSPs and hearing how they're actually applying this is way more valuable than anything that I can share with you. So I would like to bring up to talk about this agentic inflection point. I want to talk about the managed intelligence provider and bring up my 3 good friends, Zac Paulson, VP of Technology from ABM Technology, Mr. Sandy McGrath, co-founder and president of the newly formed MIPGlobal, and last but not least, Christopher Stock, Chief Technology Officer of Infinite IT Solutions. Here's a question I'm going to ask all of you guys this, but what excites you most? We're at those frontier days, and we just saw it with the last presentation. I've been talking about it all week, but what are you most excited about?
I think most excited about getting some time back on the menial tasks. You know, Steve Brown spoke a lot about getting the suck out of your job, and I've always been very passionate about company culture and keeping people in the zone, doing 80% of what they do best. And if AI can get rid of the junk, get rid of the easy stuff or the things we don't like to do, that's what I'm looking for.
Sure. Oh, I love that answer. Sandy, anything to add to that?
Some of the fun things that we've seen is small companies being able to think at a scale or do things that they've always kind of dreamt of doing, but never thought that they could get to the size or capacity or capabilities to do. And now we're having conversations with them around like they could compete against businesses or get into fields or markets that they, 5 years ago was just like a pipe dream.
I'll add something to that. I think you hit a key note there, leveling the playing field. That's what I'm pretty excited about. It doesn't matter if you're a 100-person MSP or a 500-person business. This really does level the playing field. We will see single-person operations that are out there dominating this market. Absolutely. I am fascinated by examples of what you guys have created, or whether it's internal use or for your customers. Give us an example of a real-world scenario that you guys identified a challenge and tackled it.
Sure. So we've done a couple of great projects. Probably the most outstanding one of what we've done is coming into a new customer. We come in, we will run a script basically on a whole whack of computers, servers, whatever. We'll create a JSON file with a whole whack of information. That gets uploaded to a SharePoint site, which then we use a Azure AI, which will then basically act as almost as a virtual CTO. It will scan all of that information, and it will come up with a state of the nation report that says, hey, we've gone through 100 workstations and 10 servers, and we've never seen this client before. And it comes back up and says, hey, their servers are old, these workstations are old, these are all the business applications that they're using. By the way, these unknown applications probably shouldn't be there.
I want to shift gears a little bit because we have to go to market and getting clients to the table. How are you going about even getting your clients to have these conversations with you?
Yeah, so one of the challenges is many of them are not ready. You've probably run into that, right?
Yeah.
We had a finance group that was really, really excited, and you've seen the meme. We need to get to AI. What do you want it to do? We don't know. And that's really what it was. And then we find out, well, they're all on-prem. They've used Teams only for video conferencing. And so we had to start from the basics. We had to just get them to that point. But it was AI that opened the door. It was that conversation. And so then you had a plethora of products. Realistically, the hype is an advantage because you could just play off of it. But many of our customers are not actually ready to get right into AI because they have to do the basics first.
You're not going to be able to ever again.
Never again. No, never again.
Sandy, how about you? How are you getting people to the table? I know you're the MIPGlobal. You guys go MIP. I call it MIP, but MIPGlobal. You guys are somewhat new here, but how are you guys going to market?
Right now, we were very fortunate that, like Zac said, people were knocking on the door before we even launched. So, they were coming through. And I love what you said. Once we start talking to them, you very quickly find out that there's so many MSP projects that are sitting there that have to get done in terms of security, data cleanup, you know, even having conversations with owners and executives who have no idea what happens in their business sometimes or how things get done. So you can have meaningful conversations with them to map out things like how much time in a week does someone spend as part of their role, so we can tie these things to it and figure out how much you can potentially either save or scale up or make available.
Christopher, I'm going to go right down the row here. Thinking a year from now, what is going to separate those of you guys that are embracing this and finding success from those MSPs that are still unsure and waiting?
I think it's going to come into two components. One's going to be the technical know-how and, you know,
Sure.
being able to sit down and play with it and understand it now, but also those who can sit down with our customers at the business side and translate those business processes into these agents. Those who can understand our customers' businesses and then find operational efficiencies and technology solutions or AI solutions to actually make that possible for them. And those who can do it quickly and turn it around, I think they're going to skyrocket.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for sharing your insights. As I close out here, I just want to share that at Pax8, we are constantly asking ourselves, how can we help the channel more? How can we produce more content, more resources? And we do have, and I'll be, myself and my wonderful counterpart, Ola, we'll be in every single boardroom, and we are sharing our managed intelligence playbook. We have written an entire playbook and an entire curriculum to help every MSP, regardless of what stage of this journey that you are on. And we'd love to share that with you guys. Last but not least, if anybody would like to join us, I know you guys were at Beyond. That is, we have over 1,000 MSPs already registered. We will hit 3,000 attendees next June in Salt Lake City. We'd love to tell you more about that. And with that, thank you all, and thank you so much for hearing us all out.